Today, I'm going to be talking about monthly active users for free ad-supported TV services such as Pluto TV, Tubi, and Xumo. And though the press love to report on this number and compare the services based on this number, I'm going to tell you why you just can't do that. Let's get started. Today is August 8th and it is 2019. Now, we're going to talk about these free ad-supported TV services, so-called fast services, and we're really going to zero in on Pluto TV at least to start. Now, Viacom gave its Q3 results this morning, and I should say that's calendar Q2 for us, and Viacom talked a lot about Pluto TV in that call this morning, and we're going to get to some of the details in just a second. But first, Viacom purchased Pluto earlier this year and promised at that time that it would deliver 13 new channels, and it immediately began to make good on that delivery in July with channels like Yo MTV, MTV Biggest Pop, and MTV Spanking New. And this month, August, it is launching a whole bunch more, including MTV VMA, CMT Cheerleaders, Comedy Central Roasts, and TV Land Drama, and several others. Now, these channels have really been helping Pluto TV grow a lot. Just how much? Well, Viacom announced in that call this morning that Pluto had hit 18 million monthly active users. Now, this is great growth for the company because back in January, it said it had 12 million users, monthly active users. So that's 50% in just 7 months. And look, I've got to tell you, fast services are on a tear right now. Tubi announced in May that it had 20 million MAUs. Xumo TV said on a panel that I moderated at the TV of Tomorrow show that it had 5.5 million MAUs. So that was back in June. So I suppose that means we should say that Tubi is the fast king. Well, you know what? We really can't, and here's why. The truth is there is just no standard for reporting MAUs, monthly active users. And really, without any precision and without any standard, it's very difficult to compare them. So I actually asked Jeff Schultz, who is the EVP Chief Business Officer for Pluto TV, and I asked him about how they measure it. And he said, well, he talked about the fact that they were really measuring on a one-to-one basis. And what he meant by that was they were not applying any co-viewing multiples to their data. Now, what's a co-viewing multiple? Well, it turns out that the majority of Pluto TV viewing, and I suspect the majority of Xumo and Tubi viewing, is on connected TVs. And of course, these are shared devices. Now, the television industry often apply co-viewing multiples to cope with the fact that there are many people watching the sets at the same time. Now, Mr. Schultz said that he did not do this, and they do not do this because they just, without any standard, they don't feel like it is transparent. So they're telling us that they're not applying a co-viewing multiple so that it's very clear how they're measuring, or rather that they're not multiplying that number by anything. Now, what does that mean for the other players? Well, I have asked those other players how they measure, and I'm afraid they haven't gotten back to me. So that means that we really don't know for sure what that 20 million from Tubi means. For example, if they were applying a co-viewing multiple of 1.5, that 20 million will really be 13 million monthly active users, taking away the co-viewing calculation. So without any standard across all of these providers, we really cannot compare. You cannot say that Tubi is king because we have no idea what that 20 million really means. What we can say for sure is that these fast services are growing, well, fast. And I expect that to continue because the audiences are there and people are obviously finding these services and getting a lot out of them. So here's my challenge to Tubi and Xumo. Why don't you tell me how you're measuring and in particular if you're applying co-viewing multiples. And if you do that, I promise I will talk about it here on End Screen Noise. We'll see you again next time.